What's going on, everybody? Rob here, Trev2323. I'm like a jack of all trades, master of not putting my tools away, so I gotta overcome and adapt with this little video I'm doing. Let me show you what I gotta do here today. This is the top pitch of my roof here. Alright, and if you can see, it's wrapped in aluminum, and this side has no aluminum on it at all. So I had to purchase some aluminum to go ahead and wrap that in aluminum. Now I could hire somebody to do it, but why? When I know I could do it. What I did was measured. It's 11 inches across, and if you can see, there's construction glue. When I had the windows in, so they wrapped it for me when I had those windows put in up there. But they used construction glue, and like on this whole side piece right here, they glued it down and put one nail in. So that's why in the bad windstorm or whatever, it blew off. But this was done years ago. So what I had to do was buy the piece. So I did my measurement. Flat across from that 2x4 to the corner here is 11 inches. Now what they did is they did half-inch curve, right angle to half-inch, right angle to half-inch is what they did. So 11, so they had a 12-inch piece of aluminum width. Okay, but I measured the side, and there's 2 inches extra on this side, and there's like 3 inches extra on this side. So I'm not gonna have to cut, because what I bought here is a 14-inch by 10 foot. I think it was like, it's either $6.99, $10.99, or $12.99. I'm not sure, but $12.99. But these are, you see, they're two colored. It's brown on the outside, so if you're looking for white, you're looking all over, you can't find white because they're two-sided. They're white on the inside, brown on the outside. Actually, I think that's pretty smart. But this one's 14 inches, so what I'm gonna do is bend it at 1.5 inches and 1.5 inches evenly, so I don't gotta cut the long 4-foot length right here. Also, I picked up some Gorilla Glue constructive adhesive, and you know why? Because 30 seconds fast grab. I love something that grabs it in 30 seconds. These are the nails that I bought right here, grip tight fasteners, because they got rings around the shank, because I think ring shank hold better. Now they have the little white siding ones, or the little white to wrap your house in aluminum ones, but man, those suckers are just so tiny, and I gotta take my hammer up there anyways because they're already falling out. Now this is where I'm master not putting away my tools. This right here would be so simple to cut with tin snips. Cannot find my tin snips, so I got a score. It's not going to be bad. It's only going to be a 14-inch score with the angle grinder, so I could get my 14 inches there, and then that's going to be probably tucked at the top and caulked in anyway, so you're not going to see that. The hard part is going to be bending it because I don't got a brake to break at 4 feet, so I may bend it. And I could actually bend it on here, but it's not going to be a hard bend. It won't be a hard bend if I do it on there. A hard bend as in a sharp 90, but there's going to be something up there protecting the wood. If you know, on a little piece like that, honestly, I haven't seen anybody doing siding. I'd stop and I'd give them 20 bucks if they freaking just bend me to piece. I know the measurements I need, but this is how I'm going to do it, so stay tuned. Alright, in the basement now, got my goggles on, got my gloves on. You need gloves because when you're working with aluminum like this stuff will slice you so bad in a heartbeat. I got my angle grinder with my metal disc just because I don't know where my tin snips are right now, and it'll be so much easier with the tin snips and my measuring tape. I gotta measure 44 inches and then cut the 44 inches because that's the length of it I need. Now, like I said, the original one was only a 12-inch piece. This is a 14-inch piece, so instead of doing a 1/2 inch on each side, I'm gonna do 1.5 inches on each side. Also, I have zip ties ready because after we unravel this right here, man, this high definition is harder to get it everything in the view. After we unravel this, we're going to go ahead and roll it up tight again and then just zip tie this together. Okay, so what I did is I measured out my 44 inches. You see I'm holding this down. I got the measuring tape on that and holding that flat. And then I'm going to put a piece of wood over here so it don't curl up back that way, but I'm still holding this down. I never let this go because this will just pop out on you. What I'm going to try to do, I said, instead of the angle grinder, is I do have a pair of heavy-duty scissors. I'm going to put my weight on that and try with heavy-duty scissors first because it's just a simple piece of tin. And I'm pressing on the ground is actually what I'm doing. Don't forget to do this with gloves. I'm telling you, this stuff will slice you right up. Guess I should have my glasses on instead of on top of my head, right? I got halfway through already. Alright. Now that's the piece that I need. So this right here, I'm going to go ahead and zip tie. And that didn't sprawl out on me. So I'm going to go ahead and zip tie this tight. So this way this will get just unravel. And then we're going to go outside and bend it. I'm still in the basement. I didn't go outside. I found a 4-foot steel shelf that I had down here, and I had a solid straight edge. So I could actually bend it with this shelf and this straight edge right here. So what you got to do first, I got this on it to keep it flat right now. So you're going to measure 1.5 inches what I need to hang off. Because that's what's going to be around the bend, 1.5 inches. And then this side I need to get 1.5 inches. Yeah, I'm not measuring the wood, I'm measuring from the steel shelf at the bottom is where I'm measuring. Okay, this should be 1.5 inches. And that's 1.5 inches. Now I'm going to have to put the camera down or figure something out, my lovely assistant, because we have to bend this right here. And the easier thing to do was to have somebody hold on to this so we know this don't slide, and me bend it, roll it with this right here. So let me go get the tripod. This right here, okay. So now I got my 1.5 inches here and 1.5 inches here. So my wife is actually going to press down right here so this don't move out this way. So you got to hold on right here, put your weight on this right here, hold on tight right there, hold on tight right there. Then I get this close to the edge, just a little bit, tiny bit over the edge, or a little bit more if we want more pressure. I could do even the whole 1.5 inches over. Alright, and then I'm going to bend this way. Alright, it's a little bit harder than I thought, and I'm hitting the tripod, so I should be bending this way. Now if I take the board off, it's doing what it's needing to do. It's giving me my bend at 1.5 inches, but it's taking me a little bit more harder bending it than I thought, to tell you the truth. If you had a brake or seaming pliers, this would be easier. This isn't what I do for a living, but I got a $500 deductible on my house. And there's no sense in me paying for somebody to come out and do this right now. Okay, that's good. And then there's one angle right there. I'm going to turn it over to get it a little tighter. I can bend it back this way now. Okay, now I got to do the other side, but there's not going to be as much room for her to hold it. But I still got to measure the same 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, and I'm going to do the same thing to this other side now. But you can see the bend right there. That's going to be 25 feet in the air, so it's going to look a lot nicer than what it is. But if you had a breaker or seaming pliers, you would get a tighter bend, but that bend came out actually pretty good. Okay, that's it. What I had to switch to do is I actually switched to this one. It was a lot easier. So, and believe it or not, I had to cut another piece of tin. You know why? Because when I moved the board like this, before my honey held onto it, I moved the board out of shape. So actually this is the second piece. But I used a smaller board because it was kind of easier for me. And another thing we did was we lined the 1.5 inches and lined the 1.5 inches. You know, I'm jack of all trades, master is none. I show you what I do right and what I do wrong and explain it to you. So this way you don't do the exact same thing that I did. Okay, back out front. First come wave. Alright, here's my bent piece right here. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Alright, like I said, the nails I'm using, they're ring shank nails. They're ring shanked and they're a little bit bigger than the actual regular ones. And what I don't like is the other guys that tacked it, when I went up there, they had one out here, one down there, and one on here, and glue in the middle. So what I'm still going to have to do is I'm still going to have to just put the glue in the middle because there's no wood in the middle of it at all. That's like a foam glue that they had to glue it in the middle. So I'm gonna put the Gorilla Glue over where the foam glue was to start. Over where the foam glue was, I'm gonna put Gorilla Glue. And before let me back it up some. Where the Gorilla Glue foam was, or the foam was, I'm gonna put that Gorilla Glue 30-second bond. And on the insides of this, on both sides, I'm gonna put the Gorilla Glue inside of here, and then so I'm gonna have it to grip first before I nail it. I'm gonna have to step out of my roof a little bit to get 3 nails in. I'm gonna do 3 nails per side, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, and then this project should only take you like maybe an hour at the most. But I'm shooting my video, so it takes me a little longer. Look at, I always got a supervisor watching me. My wife ain't out here right now, but look who's up there at the top. A ringneck dove. Alright, so I'm going to carry all the stuff up right now. Set the tripod up down here to zoom in up there so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay, here I am. Can you see me? Right now I'm just going to test fit it. Here when I test fit it is I got to cut a little piece down right here. This right here got to be cut in and go down, so I got to grab the scissors to cut that piece in there. Told you, the king of measure once, or measure 5 times, cut 5 times. Somebody might know what they're doing. You wouldn't believe this. When I was recording this and I had the camera all the way on the ground and was working up top, the dang battery died out. So that's why you didn't. Actually, all I did was glued, like I says, and nailed it in. And it's done. It was up there, and then the finished product. But the only reason why I did it is because I was on the 2nd floor, the camera was on the 1st floor, and I did not know the camera died. So I apologize you didn't get to see nail it in. One of the important things is actually the bending of it, though, because that's really the hardest part, trying to bend it. Either way, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share, and you can do this too. Alright, there's the finished project right there. We put it on the side. Around 1.5 inches on both sides, so there's no more exposed wood. The project would always take me faster if I don't shoot a video, but I want to show you that you can do this also. Costs maybe say 20 bucks to have that done ourselves. If it was the whole house, no way I would have done the job. Something like that, I'll do it myself.